starting a new project. Yep, with all these cardboard boxes, I'm starting a new project, and you'll have to wait and look for the video. It's gonna come out probably many months from now. Well, I might break it up into parts. In that case, it may come out in parts, episodes or something, and you'll start to see what I am creating. Yeah, if any of you know me, you might guess what I might be trying to make, but I'll leave you with that. And I'll be starting it with these boxes I already had, and I have tape and my tools and supplies I already have. So I'm going to challenge myself to spend as little money on this as very possible. So right now we're starting with 0, because I have everything on hand that I need to get started. And hopefully as I go along, my challenge is to get everything free, thrift store, or discounted online, preferably starting with eBay. I've been enjoying buying some things at good deals on eBay. And there's another reason for that you can ask me about in the comments. Try not to be controversial on this channel, but there is another very sustainable reason for that. So keep watching. And somewhere along the way, if you know my channel, you might start to guess what this is. Okay, folks, so I've gotten a little further on this van kitchen. I know it looks a little strange right now, but you'll understand as it comes along a little further where this is going. These two are attached, and the top box is attached, and that box is attached. And what I did was I had all this Velcro that I've had from an old project before. Back when you get bulk stuff like that real cheap off Amazon. Not anymore. But so I had this on hand. It's really good Velcro. So I Velcroed the pieces together so that if I want to take it in and out, I can take it apart rather than taking the whole thing out. And if one of these cabinets were to, I don't know, get damaged, then I could maybe replace just one part. I don't know. Anyway, and then I'm going to use that microwave box as my lid, as my countertop. And I'm going to layer, this is the base of the countertop, and I'm going to layer that cardboard on because it's coated, so it'll be more water resistant. And I'll still be putting contact paper over it, but this will create an extra barrier. But this I have to get it cut and shape it to go on here, and then take, you'll see I'll have to take the first layer after I put a layer of this on here, take it out to the van, and then I have to measure out the curve of the inside of the van. So this side of the countertop will be deeper than this side because the van curves that way. You'll see as we go along with this. It's hard to describe what I'm doing, but you'll understand when you see it later. So stay tuned. Now here's where I am on this project. Got everything Velcroed. Then the other piece of the lid, the first part of the lid is behind that. And I have to finish taping up the inside of that to keep the flaps inside. And so getting things in and out, I won't catch things on the flaps. Actually, I'm going to make the bottom flap a lip also. I think I messed that up. I already started to tape it down, but I'll fix it because I see the tape coming up anyway. So that's where I am on the van kitchen. Okay, I'm done. So there is the cabinet. It's a little bit off from here, but that's okay. I can adjust it. I might add more Velcro so that I can just kind of not have to be so precise. I can adjust the top. I don't know. But next step is covering all this with contact paper so it looks like a kitchen cabinet instead of a bunch of boxes stuffed together. Yeah. Okay, so this is how far I've gotten with the cabinets, kitchen cabinets. So I have covered a good amount of it with the contact paper that I have. I have to boost up that part a little bit. It's sagging, and I notice it's a little soft when I push on it, so I need to put some sort of support there. I have an idea how. And then I came up with a new idea, which means I'm gonna have to change a couple things. But it should be an easy fix. And I see I didn't line that up perfectly, but once I'm done, it will be. Plus I have to fix something on this side for the new idea I have, which will help me fix how off that is. But it's a work in progress. Okay, this is how far I've gotten on the cardboard cabinet, kitchen cabinet for the van. It's almost done. I have some of the contact paper doesn't stay too well, so I have to tape it down with like clear tape. So I have to touch up some places. I have to finish filling in the inside. I wanted to make sure I had enough paper left to put the same one on the inside. And I'm about to make a hole there because my sink is almost ready to go in here. So there'll have to be a hole here and then in the top of the other box. And this is my sink. I went through, this is my third container. I kept breaking them. I finally got one. Got a hole in one. My son-in-law is a plumber, and he tried to tell me that all this wasn't going to work. And he told me I needed basically real plumbing parts. But I went online and I looked, and what he wanted me to get would be too much. It wasn't going to work. I need a more flexible option, and there's another part that's going to go on there as part of that, and you'll see that a little bit later when I put it together. But I wanted to show this because once I get it in here, I'm not going to want to take it out unless I have to. So this is all modular, can come apart if it has to, but hopefully it won't have to very often. So I made the cutout for the difference in width from where the door is. This is going to be on the door end, so we can go back a little further. And this is the rest inside the van. I had to modify the hole and bring it back this way because this container is bigger than the other two that I tried. And I'm bummed because one of them was really nice. It had a lid on it. So I have to figure out something else for a lid for that. But it is close to being done. One of the things my son-in-law didn't think I was going to be able to do was figure out how to make this close. But you see in there, it's a penny. Which pennies are more valuable? I guess they're worth $2 now. Well, if they're real copper. This is a newer one, so I'm sure it's not. So for 1 cent and some E6000 glue, you can see a little bit of there on the edge. And on the inside, I put the silicone, the caulking, and twisted that back on. Now that is not going to let water out there. Hopefully that will be sealed. And it's hard to show you. So this is how far I've gotten. I have the curtains, I have all the bottom pieces fully completed and covered. Curtains on. I took some rods, these metal rods, there's some over there, and I bent the end. I put it through the hole. I made holes, put it through just to here. The very ends right here, they're in tight enough that they're not going to come out unless I pull them out. I was trying to reinforce the corners with packing tape, like plastic, to make it more moisture resistant and tear resistant. But it's all this tape and stuff you buy these days, it doesn't like to stay. Like, I swear that's a big scam. It doesn't matter if it's from the hardware store or the dollar store, it seems to have the same amount of ability to stick and stay on cardboard. I mean, cardboard is paper. If you can't get duct tape to stick to cardboard, how good is it? I mean, it's so frustrating. Anyway, I'm struggling with all the tape because it doesn't want to stay. Yeah, I would understand if it was out in extreme weather, but I'm in my house, and yeah, it's not that cold, and stuff doesn't want to stay. I don't understand it. It's like it gets too warm, it gets too cold. I don't know, but I'm inside the house doing this on purpose because I thought that would help. But it doesn't want to stick to other tape, to contact paper, to cardboard. I don't know. I don't understand it. But it's just so much hassle for when you think you're getting a deal, no matter where you go. Anyway, that's my little rant about this. But I'm almost done with the whole van kitchen. I just have to figure out how I want to latch those. I have a couple of ideas. And I have to finish the top. So I ended up saving this sink. It's still going to work. What I had to do is, instead of dropping it into the countertop, I dropped it into the bottom and put the countertop over it, like a drop-in sink. I think that'll work better. It's deep enough that it's not likely I'll get water up the side, but if I do, I went ahead and completely, there's the water cabinet, and it's got clear plastic contact paper and tape all the way through, so it should be water resistant. Maybe not totally waterproof, just in case there's any leaks. I'm trying to ensure that I've done everything I can to not have leaks ruin this thing like the last one, or spills. That my main concern is the sink leaking. hopefully I'll catch it before it's a problem. So I'm going to put some kind of tray in there, like I had before. I'm not sure if the same drawer is going to fit, but I'm going to try. So that's where we are with the cardboard kitchen cabinets for the minivan. Okay. The kitchen cabinet is almost complete. Just need to make hinges for the doors, the cabinet doors. I have the countertop done. I put old floor tiles I had around. There's my drop-in sink. I have to, I'm gonna finish setting up the water system. I almost put away some parts that I still need. I started to put everything in the hallway ready to go to the shed, and then I realized, I wasn't done yet. So there's the kitchen countertop, all done. Kitchen cabinets. All I'm gonna need to do is finish putting the water supply together. I even got one of these. It goes in there. But I have to do some more silicone and caulking to that once I get this piece on, test it and see if it leaks, all that. So yeah, stay tuned. And I kept this out for any more tape repairs because this tape does not like to stick. So you have to tape over tape and make it much longer. Basically, you need to tape the tape to itself or something. I don't know. So yeah, so finishing touches, and then there'll be a new clean out the van video coming up, so stay tuned for that, because we'll be taking out the old kitchen cabinet sink system. Well, I didn't have a sink. Well, sort of. You'll see. If you look at my old videos, you'll see how I did water before. It's going to be similar, only this time I have plumbing. So I'll be able to use this sink to wash my face, dishes, things like that. And I'll be able to drain it into a container, and I can just dump the container out, and I'll have my drinking water in there also. So I have a container for gray water, a container for fresh water. I'll put my water things here and here. I have two of them. And I'll put them here, and then I have to run them, and that's what I didn't do, is I'm gonna have to run my hoses. I don't know if I'm gonna just go ahead and do it on the outside, just because to get things in and out, it'll be kind of a hassle. So I probably do what I did before, and just run the hoses down and in this way, so I can, work with it, and I won't have to yank them in and out of holes and stuff. I was gonna put a hole, but I thought that would make more work when I have to do any repairs or anything, or fill the water, that sort of. You'll see as we go along. So follow along to see how I set up the water system. But I think it's gonna work. I'm gonna make it work. What do you think, Zenji? You think it's gonna work? My phone doesn't want to focus. It's blurry. We're blurry. Why are we so blurry? What are you focusing on? I don't know what's focusing on.